Welcome to the Bodhi Academy. My name is Shrutika, and today let us continue with our chapter 5, Conservation of Plants and Animals, part 2. So in our part 1 we have covered deforestation, the causes of deforestation, consequences of deforestation. Then we have seen how conservation of forest and wildlife is done through protected areas, that is wildlife sanctuary, national park and biosphere reserve. So today let us study them in detail. So first let us see what do you mean by a biosphere reserve. So a biosphere reserve biosphere reserve are the areas meant for conservation of biodiversity. Biodiversity means all the plants and animals living in that area. So biosphere reserve biosphere reserves are the areas meant for conservation of the biodiversity of the particular area. As in we are aware that biodiversity is variety of plants and animals which are found in that area. So the plants and animals which are found in a particular area are protected through biosphere reserves. So how the biosphere reserve helps in conservation? So biosphere reserve helps in maintaining the biodiversity and the culture of that area, and also it helps in protecting the area wherein the biosphere reserve is located. So this is how developing a biosphere reserve helps in protection of that area, and also protecting and maintaining the biodiversity and the culture of the area. So this is example of a biosphere reserve wherein there are several sanctuaries, parks which are in the biosphere reserve. So now let us move to flora and fauna. So what do you mean by flora and what is the meaning of fauna? So basically flora means the plants that are found in a particular area, and fauna means all the animals which are found in the particular area. So we should understand first the meaning of flora and fauna. So this is the meaning of flora and fauna. So now this flora and fauna, based on how they are based on the population, they are based on their population and the number of species which are existing in that area, they are further classified as endemic species and they are also endemic and endangered species. So let us understand what do we mean by endemic species. So endemic species. So what are endemic species? So endemic species are the species of plants and animals which are found exclusively in a particular area. They are not naturally found anywhere else. So a particular species of plant or animal which is exclusively found in a particular area. For example, if if I take cashew particularly, so this is endemic to Goa, as in cashew is only, I'm just taking an example, as in cashew is only found in Goa, if I say, then and it is not found in any other states of India. So I can say that the endemic cashew is an endemic species of plant which is only found in Goa. So this cashew becomes an endemic species. So this is the meaning of endemic species, that is any species of plants or animal which is exclusively found in a particular area and it is not found anywhere else. So second type of protected areas which is done for protection of wildlife and plants is wildlife sanctuaries. So first we have seen biosphere reserves. Now let us see what is the meaning of wildlife sanctuary. So wildlife sanctuary is basically like a reserve forest. It's like a reserve forest which provides protection and suitable living conditions to the wildlife. It also tells them that people living in wildlife sanctuaries are allowed to do certain activities such as grazing their livestock, collecting medicinal plant, firewood, etc. So in wildlife sanctuaries, the plants and animals are protected, and the people over the tribals which are living in that area are also allowed to live with the animals over there, and then they are also allowed to do grazing of their livestock, collecting medicinal plants, and they have some access to the forest also. So this is about wildlife sanctuaries. Now let's move to the third type of protected areas, that is national park. So what do you mean by a national park? So national parks are basically reserves of large area of land, and they have a reserve of large and diverse enough protected set of ecosystem. So different types of ecosystem are protected together on a large scale, and they preserve the flora, fauna, landscape and historical objects of that area. So all the here the conservation of plants, animals and the landscape all with the culture is done. So these are this type of protected areas are termed as national parks. And there are various national parks which are found in India. Example over here is Satpura National Park, which was the first forest reserve of India. So in the Satpura National Park, Satpura Tiger Reserve was done by the government of India to protect the tigers in the country. The objective of this project was to ensure the survival and maintenance of tiger population in the country. As we all know that tigers are threatened very much because of their skin, their teeth. Hunting is done for those purpose. So the Satpura Tiger Reserve, which is there in Satpura, what they did was they had launched a tiger protection project that is called as the Protect Tiger. This was a tiger protection act which was launched by the government of India over there, and the main objective of this project was to protect and ensure the survival and maintenance of tiger population in the country. So this was basically Protect Tiger was launched for protection of tigers. So now let us see what do we mean by endangered animals. So endangered animals are the animals whose number the animals whose number are diminishing, or the number of this population of the organism is depleting, and there is a high risk that they may get extinct. So this type of organism are classified as endangered animals. So endangered animals are basically the animals which are not extinct, but they, if the human activities such as hunting, poaching is not it is not stopped, then it may lead to extinction of that species. So this type of animals are considered as endangered animals. So all these plants, animals, they live in a particular area, and they, in that area, they are interdependent on each other, and uh, and this the interaction of the organisms with each other, that is plants, animals interact with each other, and the term given for that this interaction is ecosystem. So ecosystem is basically, it is made up of all the plants, animals, and microorganisms in an area, along with the non-living components such as soil, climate, rivers, etc., wherein they live with each other and they are interdependent on each other. So this is termed as ecosystem. So now let us see what do we mean by Red Data Book. So Red Data Book is a source book which keeps, so we have seen what are wildlife sanctuaries, what are biosphere reserves, what are national parks. So now let us see how the record of the organisms are maintained by them. So they have a book called as the Red Data Book, and this is the source book which helps in keeping the record of all the endangered animals and plants. So the Red Data Book is maintained internationally by an organization, that is in India also. Red Data Book is maintained for the plants and animals found in India. So it is international. Every country has a Red Data Book wherein they keep the record of all the endangered animals and plants in their country. So this is about Red Data Book. Now let us see what do you mean by migration. So migration basically means moving from one place to another, and now migration is basically moving from one place to another. So why do why do animals, people need to move from one place to another? So So we know that many birds migrate. We have heard that mostly birds migrate or they fly far away places from one place to another. And why they do so? So they do it because of the climatic conditions. Because basically birds cannot survive they cannot sustain climate changes. So what they do is, in a particular season they need to lay their eggs. So what they will do is, they will migrate from if they need a warmer temperature for migration basically. So what they will do is, they will move from, if they are in a cold climatic condition, if they are staying, and if they want to lay their eggs in a warm condition, so what they will do is, they will move from that country to another warm country to lay their eggs, and this movement from one country to another country by the birds is called as migration. And the migration can be for various purposes, like for food, migration can be done for laying eggs, for reproduction. Migration is done by the birds, and mostly migration is seen in birds. Then now we have seen different types of conservation methods. We have seen how the human activities affecting the plants and animals in our area. Now let us see how we can do recycling, and how we can with the help of recycling, how we can protect our environment. So recycling of paper. So recycling is very important because paper is made from plants, and if we want to process a paper, processing of paper also requires very harmful chemicals. So it is very important that we recycle paper in order to reduce chemical waste, and also to reduce the deforestation which is caused due to cutting down of trees for preparing papers. So this is, if we do recycling, this is how we can protect the environment. Then what do you mean by reforestation? So deforestation, we know that cutting off trees. Okay, so cutting down of trees for various purposes is called as deforestation. So what do you mean by reforestation? So reforestation is planting of trees. So planting of the trees so that we can decrease or reduce deforestation, and reduce the amount of destruction created due to deforestation. What we can do is reforestation is restocking of the destroyed forest by planting new trees. The trees planted should generally be the same species which were found in that forest. So we should see that the trees whichever are cut are replanted and the same species are planted, so that it can grow, and that the land which was destructed can be reclaimed. So this is about reforestation. So if we do reforestation, then it will obviously help in conservation of the area. So this was about the lesson. So in this lesson we have seen what do you mean, what are the conservation methods, how deforestation causes destruction of the plants and animals, then what is the meaning of endemic species, what are endangered species, what are the protected lands, and how wildlife sanctuaries, national parks and biosphere reserve helps in protection of plants and wildlife. So thank you for watching today's video. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe.